other issues of the county that are not moving on. In fact, as we are talking right now, Chair, our lift that serves to the 7th floor is not operational. And the reason why it is not operational, we just need like 7,000 to make it operational, and we don't have that kind of money. And the reason is that we have not received our finances from the executive. Chair, by a letter dated 12th May 2025, the Speaker wrote to the Governor, County Secretary, and the County Executive Committee member for Finance, demanding for the release of Assembly funds. I have attached that copy to my letter. To date, the CCM Finance has failed to or refused to release the said funds. This is duty under the Public Finance Management Act number 18 of 2012. To add injury to the insult, by a letter dated 22nd May 2025, the CCM Finance indicated that he will not process the payment of the county's requisitions for funds, citing extraneous and unrelated issues. I have attached the copy of his response to these proceedings. The total withholding of funds by the county executive paralyzes the assembly, and the assembly will not be able to dispense with its business as required by the law for lack of funds. In a callous, inhumane, and cruel and mindless action, Honorable Nzioka, Honorable Nicholas Kitavi Nzioka, the member of the County Assembly of Machakos, Central Ward, and leader of Majority Party, wrote to the Executive Committee member for Finance, Economic Planning, and ICT on 19th May 2025. I have attached that copy of his letter advising the CC Finance not to remit assembly funds held in the county treasury. Honorable Nzioka is of the misguided and invalid and malicious view that the County Assembly Service Board is not properly constituted, a position which is absolutely ludicrous. Since September 2024, the same honorable member has acted dozens of times at the behest and collaborated with the same Kasib he seeks to discredit. The said letter by Honorable Nzioka is in utter contempt of the plight of members of the County Assembly who have gone for 3 months without salaries allowances. Some have been evicted from their houses for non-payment of rent. Others have had their children sent out of school for non-payment of school fees. And others have had their properties attached or auctioned for non-payment of debts. Due to the inhumane and disdainful alliance between the leader of majority and the CCM Finance to deny the Assembly its funds, the Assembly is totally unable to pay for rudimentary day-to-day services, such as water, electricity, fuel, stationery, cleaning materials, communication, internet, motor vehicle maintenance, general and medical insurance, among other services. The actions of Honorable Nzioka in cahoot with the CCM Finance have resulted in the Assembly being issued with an agency notice by the Kenya Revenue Authority, crippling interest on loans taken from banks by MCS and staff, and breaking of the law by the Assembly for non-payment of statutory dues, including SHA, NSSF, and housing levy. It is clear that the CCM Finance, and by extension the leadership of the county executive, are under the illusion that they have powers to remotely control and manipulate the Assembly through the leader of majority. This is in complete disregard of the independence of the Assembly and in total disregard of its functions to conduct oversight on the county executive. The function the CCM Finance to authorize for the withdrawal of Assembly funds is not an avenue for him to exercise unlawful power over the Assembly. The CCM Finance disregarded Section 109, subsection 4 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which requires him to ensure that all monies authorized to be paid by the county government or any of its entities for a public purpose is paid from the account without undue delay. Therefore, Chair, even though the Assembly has reopened, it is apparent that if the CCM Finance, who has conspired with Honorable Nzioka the leader of majority, to deny the Assembly's funds, does not release those funds with immediate effect, the Assembly will be forced to close again, supposedly by the end of the week, because the situation is very serious and it is dire. I have attached all the documents that this committee wanted to this particular document that I've read. Yes, Chair, I think that is my response.
Very well. Thank you so much, members. You have had the response from the Speaker. And then you can go to further discussion. Yeah. So, majority there, where is he or she? We'll give you a minority there. So, my friend, you are who? You are a member of the House?
Representing the 22 sober members.
Sorry?
Representing the 22 sober members. I think, Honorable Chair.
Order, Mheshimiwa.
I think, Honorable Chair, you didn't direct
Order, Mheshimiwa. Order. I'm only asking you who you are. You are a member of the House.
Yes, a member of
Order, members.
You have to withdraw that statement. These are honorable members and are sober. Withdraw.
What was your name? Mheshimiwa.
So, Chair, my name is Honorable Francis Ngunga, MCMWA. I am not representing the other group, but I did indicate that we have two groups here. I can actually step in as a spokesman for the other group because I am seized with the materials that are here. Okay. So if you allow me, I will be able to
okay, we'll allow you later, not now.
Point of order, Chair.
Order,
Mr. You said Mr. Mukunga?
Zoka.
Ngunga. Yes.
I would like somebody to give me something to show me that they have given you the responsibility of speaking on their behalf. You see, he's interrupting, and yet we were listening to what her presentation was. So I would prefer that she finishes before he. Yeah, then we can cross-examine her, Chair. That's fine. That's fine. Much obliged.
Proceed, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Chair.
Speaker, please switch on your mic. Okay.
Chair, if you allow me, may I stand as I do my presentation? Thank you. Mr. Chair, out of abundance of caution, when we received the letter, we thought we should also write something. So it's not a very big document. It's actually very small, but I'm going to read very fast. Our documents have been tabled, and members have this file. I hope so. This is the chronology and legal analysis of the unlawful suspension of Machakos County Assembly and related matters. The introduction. The document presents a comprehensive chronology of events and legal analysis concerning the unilateral suspension of the Machakos County Assembly by the Speaker, Honorable Anne Keusia, on 8th April 2025. It includes the contents of the impeachment motions tabled by so far 3 members of the Assembly and grounds for impeachment and responses to the Senate inquiries dated 21st May 2025, including legal and procedural basis on which the Speaker relied upon to unilaterally suspend Assembly sittings indefinitely, implication of the suspension of legislative business, including budget oversight and service delivery to Machakos County, measures in place to guarantee the safety of the Speaker, members and staff, and to enable resumption of normal Assembly operation, whether salaries and allowances will continue to be paid to the Speaker, members and staff during the suspension, alternative dispute resolution mechanism, available for resolving conflicts within the County Assembly, the action taken by the County Executive to address the situation and restore operations of the Assembly. I'll start with the chronology of events. Mr. Chair, Honorable Chair, in October 2024, the Honorable, and I want to make a correction to the document I presented, it is Honorable Francis Carview, member of County Assembly of Machakos, of Kinania Ward, not Mbioni Ward, in Mavoko Sub-County, brought the first motion for the removal of Honorable Speaker Ann Kiusia. The motion was supported by 48 members of the County Assembly, indicating a broad consensus of dissatisfaction. In that motion, the issue raised included, 1, misuse of public funds for personal travel. The Speaker was facilitated by the County Assembly Service Board to a UK-funded training. The Speaker was facilitated by the County Assembly Service Board to attend a training in the United Kingdom, accompanied by an administrative officer from the Assembly. However, the clearance sought from the Ministry of Devolution listed 3 individuals, including the Speaker's daughter, who had not been approved by the board to travel. I have attached Appendix 1. It is important, which is a request for approval to travel abroad. It is important to note that...
Point of order, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Maybe just for clarity and guidance, the reason we're here today is we are trying to justify or to explain why the assembly was closed is the issues of the impeachment or the details of the content relevant to why we are here today. Yeah. Maybe you can guide, Mr. Chair.
Honorable Chair, you allowed the first speaker to give chronology of events.
Order majority there. I think the member has a point, and we are all here to know why the speaker has suspended the House and the actions taken, and how we can be able to assume.
Point of information, Chair.
Yeah.
Before you rule on this matter, do you remember when they had the discussions about the Adani hearings? The question was it necessary to create the foundation of my argument? Let him set up the foundation. We'll see where it goes. Please, don't stop anything. We are here to find out what the issues are. Let's get to the truth. Because same issues have been raised about his character.
Yes.
And, yes, sir.
Sorry. The matter on discussion is actually the indefinite suspension of the House by the majority, by the Speaker. So maybe you have just a brief of the whole thing, and don't be very specific to issues, and don't mention people's names and with any ulterior motives. So just say what is there.
Honorable members, I think you let the Speaker and whoever is speaking so that we have some order.
And then I think,
Honorable Majority Leader, what you need to do, we are not actually undertaking an impeachment proceeding. What we would want is your nexus of the points you're making to the issue beforehand, which is the suspension of the County Assembly, the indefinite suspension of the County Assembly. So you need to indicate, if you give us the detail, we will not go through an impeachment hearing here. You know what the procedure is. And the Senate is an appeal in this matter. So we will not discuss the detail of an impeachment motion. You will indicate to us the nexus between this and what we are looking at today.
Okay, proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Vice Chair. Honorable
Chair, can I say something before he proceeds? Yeah. According to the statement that I made at the Senate, we need answers to that statement.
Has given the answers, and the majority leader now is falling to give us the answers to those questions. And I think the questions are very clear. this matter. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. I think I'm building to that. I'm giving a background. If I do not give this, thank you. Yeah. It is important to note that the procurement requisition for travel tickets was made for 2 individuals in line with the board's approval. Despite this, the Speaker manipulated the travel arrangements, altering the business class ticket to accommodate economy class ticket, Appendix 2, for herself and the traveling party.
Honorable Majority Leader, are you building a case for the impeachment case, or you are...
Chairman,
all the members. Yeah.
I'm just building. I want for you to allow me to finish so that I show you the connection.
Please also be guided. Please be guided. It would help for you to tell us that there has been an impeachment motion, and that impeachment motion links to the suspension as follows. Yeah. Now, the detail of what did what is something that would come to us in a different forum.
Thank you. Okay, from the beginning, I said there are 3 impeachment motions, and I wanted to show you how similar they are. How similar they are.
No. Order. What we want, and majority, yes. The detail of this on who did what, I can assure you, we will not come here to any conclusion of this was wrong or this was not, because that would be about impeachment. So the way we are guiding you, yes. You want to say there has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attempts to impeach the Speaker, and the link between what she has done is this. Make your link of the impeachment motions to her decision to indefinitely suspend. Please don't cheer. This is a committee meeting. This is not Machakos County Assembly. So we would want to seriously focus on the committee business. So make your link without necessarily arguing a case, an impeachment case.
Majority Leader, I want to ask you a question.
Yes, Chair.
The question is, you are telling us the county assembly was suspended because of the intended impeachment.
I think the answer is yes. The answer is yes. I've been told to link, and what I want to say is that the Speaker reliance on Standing Order Number 1 to indefinitely close the Assembly committees and plenaries sitting was a misinterpretation of the law. That provision only permits decision on unprovided procedural questions, not suspension of constitutional institutions. Her action usurped the Assembly legislative mandate and had no legal foundation. We were not sitting. If we were sitting in a plenary, I'm sure the Speaker would have used Standing Order Number 108 to close the Assembly, but also give timeline as to when we are going to resume. Again, while the Speaker used a unilateral decision citing Standing Order Number 1, she contradicted herself on 23rd May 2005 by communicating a purported decision by the board, County Assembly Service Board, to open the Assembly. Now, this is a scenario. On one hand, she unilaterally closes the Assembly, and on the other hand, she uses a decision of a CASIB. And McHugh, CASIB has no powers over Assembly sittings. Assembly sittings are governed by the standing orders and the Constitution. The County Assembly Service Act, Section 9, limits CASIB's functions to providing administrative and support services, constituting and staffing assembly offices, budgeting and preparation and budget preparation and implementation, promoting constitutional values in public service, and not legislative or committee programming. That is the work of the House Business Committee and Liaison Committee. Thus, CASIP does not have the mandate to suspend or lift the suspension of plenary. In this case, I would want to say that her argument that the plenary is open is not, because CASIP does not have any mandate to open the plenary or committee sittings. CASIP does not have mandate to determine assembly calendar or override standing orders. The Speaker invocation of CASIP decisions to manage legislative sessions is an abuse of office and violation of doctrine of separation of powers. Implication of the suspension of the Assembly included.
Point of order, Chair. Not to be seen to be assisting the honourable member, I would refer you to go back to page 6. Page 6?
Yes.
Yeah, number 9. I think that point can help you build your case. I think you skipped it from the confusion of what you should do or what you shouldn't.
Yes, and I'm on new territory.
Yeah, read number 9.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chairman, thank you, Senator. I'll read number 9. The Speaker in that case, and I think it's the case of opening. No, the Speaker in that case, and that case is the case of her unilateral decision to close the Assembly, and without consulting the Assembly leadership, issued a communication from her chambers via social media, suspending all plenary and committee sittings indefinitely, which is Annex 6, citing insecurity. She's purported to rely on standing number 1, but this action violated 1, Article 176(1) of the Constitution, legislative paralysis. No bills, motion, or statutory instrument could be considered either by the plenary or committees of the Assembly. For instance, the Machakos County Valuation Roll is still pending 6 April 2025, despite the provision of Section 34 of National Rating Act, which mandates the Assembly to consider the same within 60 days of submission. Failure by the Assembly to consider the roll within the stipulated time, the same is deemed to have been approved, thus depriving MCAs an opportunity to exercise their representation role. Budgeting delays. Section 129(2) of the Public Finance Act 2012 provides that following approval by the County Executive Committee, the County Executive Committee member for finance shall submit to the County Assembly the budget estimates, supporting documents, and any other bills required to implement the budget, except the finance bill, by 30th April in that year. Further, Standing Order 206 provides that estimate, supporting document, and any other bill required to implement the budget have been submitted to the County Assembly. They shall be tabled in the Assembly within 3 days of submission, thereby committed to each sectoral committee to consider, discuss, review, and make recommendation to the Budget and Appropriation Committee within 21 days. It is worth noting that due to the indefinite suspension of plenary sittings, tabling and committee of the budget estimate has not been done, and consequently, the 21-day timeline for sectoral committees to consider the estimates have already lapsed. This therefore means that the indefinite suspension of the plenary and committee sittings has delayed the budget-making process by around 24 days. The House is currently on recess and expected to resume its regular sittings on 10th June 2025 according to the approved Assembly calendar. The implication of this is that the budget estimate will be tabled, committed on 10th June 2025. Section 131(1) of the Public Finance Act states that the County Assembly shall consider the county budget estimates with a view to approve them with or without amendments in time for the relevant appropriation law and any other laws required to implement the budget to be passed by 30th June in each year. The sectorial committees and the budget appropriation committee will have to consider the estimate, interrogate the respective departments, conduct public participation, take the views of the county committee member for finance, and pass the budget estimate in only 20 days, which is definitely not sufficient. The same fate will reflect on the already submitted second supplementary budget estimates for the financial year 2024-2025 to align the adjustments and ceiling to the CARA 2024 for both the executive and assembly. Oversight obstruction. Committees could not investigate or review executive operations. Service delivery impact. There would be delays in infrastructure, health, education, and other sectors tied to the assembly approvals. Measures in place to guarantee the safety of members and staff. Throughout these instances, there has not been any formal threat assessment. The Speaker did not formally engage any security agencies or formally request increased protection. The Sergeant at Arms and the Administration Police continue to provide routine services. In our opinion, neither the Speaker, the members of Assembly, or the staff are under any security threat. For the salaries, allowances will continue to be paid to the Speaker, members, and staff during the suspension. Payment of salaries and allowances is the responsibility of County Assembly Service Board, chaired by the Speaker, which is a statutory body with other responsibility under the County Assembly Act number 17 of 2017. It is not to note for the committee, the Speaker provided evidence that the majority leader wrote to the CCM Finance stopping disbursement of equitable share to the Assembly, what is due. I want to put it to the committee that I do not have such powers as a majority leader. I cannot stop any disbursement. Number two, I also want to inform the committee there is a standoff between the CCM Finance and the County Assembly Service Board on the matter of the fourth and fifth member of the board, because the Speaker insists they have, they are legally there. I want for the committee to know that their contract expired September 2024. And as you may know, Senators, the life of a board, is in sync with the life of the Senate cycle or Parliament. So they were actually supposed to have ceased operating when we assumed office, but they continued to click into the office citing a contract. But the contract expired in September 2024. That is the standoff. I wrote the letter. I did not write the letter to stop any disbursement. I wrote out of abundance of caution, to let the CCM Finance know that I think the fourth and fifth member are sitting in the board illegally. The CCM wrote that letter, but the board has refused to reply. All they need to tell the CCM Finance in writing is whether the fourth and the fifth member are in office legally. If they are not, they should also say that, and then the CCM Finance is going to make a decision. So the ball is actually in their box. They have not replied to that letter by CCM Finance. Alternative dispute resolution mechanism. A majority of the Assembly Committee chairpersons convened committee meeting pursuant to Standing Order 160, 161, and 162, and resumed sittings on Friday, 23rd May 2025. Action taken by the County Executive to address the situation and restore operation of the Assembly. In our opinion, the county executive does not have any role under any statute to convene committee and or plenary sittings. Conclusion and recommendations. The suspension of the Machakos County Assembly by the Speaker was legally and procedurally flawed, lacked constitutional basis, and continues to impair governance and service delivery. Therefore, the Speaker should be held accountable for abuse of power and violation of constitutional principles. The Speaker should allow the procedural process of her motion be given fair hearing and present her facts to exculpate herself from the issue raised. Number 3, HASIP should be restrained from overstepping its administrative mandate. Number 4, the 4th and 5th members be restrained from attending board meetings, and the board having been constituted after the election in 2022. Number 5, any monies illegally expended to the 4th and 5th members of the board be recovered or surcharged as per the law. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you so much, Leader. And then, Minority Leader, I only want to give you a few minutes. If you are in agreement with the Majority Leader, because I can see your name, I've signed this document. So I don't think you need to have time. You are already in agreement, isn't it?
Thank you, Chair. I will be very brief, and I will take the shortest time possible.
How many minutes?
We request you only add what
has not
been said by majority,
Yes.
if you are on the same side.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, I want to be very brief, and I will start with the first question on the suspension of the Assembly. And Honorable Chair, I know it is good to go straight where the problem started. On 8th April, we end the House Business Committee, which is usually chaired by the Speaker of the County Assembly. Honorable Speaker, we end enough forum to approve the business that was supposed to be tabled before the House. Honorable Speaker, during that meeting, the Speaker tried to start dictating and directing on what to come. And Honorable Speaker, I refer you to Standing Order number 174. Honorable Chair, Standing Order number 174, which does not give the Speaker any power to take a vote. Machakos Standing Orders number 174. If you have this, you can confirm. Number 174.1, the chairperson of the select committee other than the House Business Committee shall have an original vote but not a casting vote. Part 2. Original vote. Original vote, V-O-T-E. Part 2 says, paragraph 1 shall not apply to the chairperson of the House Business Committee who shall have neither, underline the word neither.
No, just
Yes.
read
Yes.
and you tell us exactly what the Speaker did
Yes,
that contravenes that.
yes.
Don't be vague.
Yes. So, who shall have neither an original nor a casting vote. So, in that matter...
Madam Chair, excuse me, Chair, could we just have even Sylvia read that thing? He's confusing me. Please let her read. She's a clerk.
Okay.
And just to guide you, Minority Leader,
Yes.
what you're saying, Speaker did 1, 2, 3, that contravenes this in the following manner. Don't read to us don't give us a lesson in the standing orders of Machakos County.
Yeah.
Through you, Chair, I'll read Standing Order 174 of the Machakos Standing Orders, which is titled Original Vote. the chairperson of a select committee other than the House Business Committee shall have an original vote, but not a casting vote. Number 2, paragraph 1 shall not apply to the chairperson of the House Business Committee, who shall have neither an original nor a casting vote.
Okay, now, what did he do around casting and original votes?
Honorable Chair, the Speaker wanted to declare what to come. Members were not given an opportunity to either agree on the business to come that day. In fact, what was to come was to be decided by.
That again, the Speaker wanted to declare?
Yes, or what was to be tabled before the House. And
so you did not have an agenda?
The agenda was there, but we had a list of many agenda. But we were to pick few because we could not transact everything that day. So, from the list of many that the chairs and proposed to be given prominence to come to the Assembly, the Speaker came with a determined mind on what to come. So, she deprived the members of that House Business Committee.
Excuse me, Chair. Help me understand what you're saying.
Yes.
The Speaker came, all of you, the majority and minority were there.
Yes.
What did you ask her to do that she did not do? Or what did you expect her to do that she did not do?
Yes. Thank you.
Or we had agenda items number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What happened?
She said we are only discussing agenda number 7.
Yes.
Now, can you be specific?
That is exactly what she did.
What?
She chose and instructed the clerk of that committee to have what she earned in the list and forgetting what the other members.
No, what was it that she had?
What was the agenda?
Huh? It was balloting of business, Honorable Chair. Balloting of business. The House Business Committee. We were balloting business. So there were so many requests from committees that wanted to be dispensed. Yes.
Chair, through you. Can you say what were the agendas? What were the items? The items on the agenda list. What were they? And which ones Speaker picked? And which one you people wanted?
Honorable Chair, there were several reports. One from Machakos transporters, the business people who do transport business, that is manufacturing operators. There was a report from Matu for roads which was not done. There was another one from Kenani.
Minority Leader, can I guide you?
Yes.
Help if you tell us the agenda for the day as circulated. Indicated number 1, this, number 2, this, number 3, this. Can we get a copy of that agenda? But when we reached there, the Speaker insisted we are only discussing 7 and 8. I'm giving you some guidance, which was this issue and this issue.
Yes.
So don't give us speculation. You were in that meeting.
Yes. I don't have it near the moment.
So what specific issue did the Speaker insisted that we discuss?
The members requested that we take a vote on every agenda, so that when the agenda which is voted, it takes a precedence.
Point of
but
information,
she denied that.
Mr. Chair.
She denied that.
Point of information.
Honorable members, can he just present? We will give an opportunity for you to actually just note what the issues you want to raise.
Order members. Honorable
Chair, just a quick one. I think I'm understanding the honorable member. But maybe to understand him better, just to ask one question, and then the others will be asking once our plenary time comes. Was the impeachment motion part of the list or the agenda?
It was not. It was not, Chair. It was not.
Thank you.
It was not. It was purely business to be balloted to take place.
Specific order was she insisting on that we discuss other than the others? What was the specific order? What specific order, agenda, was the Speaker insisting to be discussed?
The process was flawed because she came here, she came there with an decided mind.
You are not helping us.
Yes.
Can you tell us She wanted us to discuss this issue and not this issue. You are not capable of saying that.
Chair.
Point of information. Chair.
Chair, may I assist?
Point of information.
What the minority leader is saying, in a normal committee, House Business Committee meeting, once the committee starts, the prayer has done communication on the chair, we ballot for business. We ballot for business. When business number 1 came, if we will be allowed, we'll provide that agenda for that day. But the speaker interfered with the balloting. That's what we are saying. He wanted an agenda. If number 1 suits her, that's what she wanted to be brought before the House. If number 2 doesn't suit her, she did not want it to come to the House.
A question, very simple question.
Yes.
What specific agenda did she have in mind?
I'm requesting, Chair, that we be allowed to table the agenda for that day later. And we would tell you, if you allow us, which one she wanted to be brought before the House and brought before the House. Okay. On the other thing I would want to clarify about that is that in the House Business Committee, how many are in support of agenda number 1? You raise your hand, it is balloted. She refused to give us that opportunity and dictated to the clerk, do agenda number this, and this is what is going to come to the floor of the House. Thank you, Chair.
Please.
Okay, thank you.
So, Mr. Chair, it is important.
Please, we have ruled on this. Let him finish. You get your chance.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Chair, at that juncture when she started dictating, that is when the voices were too high. And the meeting could not continue anymore. She rushed to her office and locked herself inside that office. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, later in the day, we saw a communication which was suspending the House together with committees. And Honorable Chair, the articles, our standing order cited in that communication is standing order number 1 and standing order number 2. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, the standing order number 1 gives the Speaker power to do that or to make that determination while in the chamber. At the time of making the determination, was not in the House. She was not in the chamber. Again, standing order number 108 gives the Speaker power to suspend a sitting, not sittings. A sitting. Standing order number 108. So, Honorable Chair, I want to say...
Point of order. Could you excuse me, minority?
Yes.
Could you read that? You see, this is a quasi-judicial process. You
Standing order number 108, grave disorder in the assembly.
Yes.
Underline the word in the assembly. In the event of grave disorder arising in the House, underline the word House. The Speaker...
Talk to your Speaker, sir. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Sylvia. Help me.
Standing Order 108, titled Grave Disorder in the Assembly. 1. In the event of grave disorder arising in the House, the Speaker may adjourn the House forthwith or suspend any sittings for a period to be determined by him or her. And 2, in the event of grave disorder arising in the Committee of the Whole Assembly, the Speaker shall resume the chair forthwith.
Point of correction. Point of correction. I'm sorry, Honorable Chair, we are also benchmarking as we are tackling this matter. I want to say she has read sittings, but in our standing order, it is sitting.
Yeah, it is sitting.
Yeah,
that is
sittings.
correct.
So they are going to
So
correct
it's sitting.
Yes.
Sitting.
Sitting.
Yes,
That means
sitting.
it's singular.
Thank you. That is the clarity I wanted. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Proceed. Move first.
Yes. So, Chair, when the Speaker took that action, as far as our understanding, we declared that the action was ultra-fires because she acted outside our parameters as guided by the said two standing orders. Honorable Chair, again, going to the other question on what will be the repercussion. Honorable Chair, the action...
Point of inquiry, Chair. Again, after you went and sat and that decision was made, she made a unilateral declaration which was ultra-virus, right?
Yes, yes.
What did you do next? You see, you are not helping me understand your story.
Yes.
Help me understand. Did you start fighting immediately? Did you go and beat her up?
Oh, thank you.
That's what I want to know.
Thank you. The alleged fight, Honorable Chair. Yes.
Sorry. According to this place, grave disorder in assembly. That was in assembly, okay? In the event of a grave disorder arising in the House, the Speaker may adjourn.
Yes.
Was there any grave disorder in the House?
To me, it was not there. It wasn't there.
Okay.
And we were not, for information, we were not in the House.
Chair, what they should clarify is, were they in the chamber? Where were they holding this meeting? Just be clear.
Point of information, Chair.
Honorable Chair, we were in the Speaker's boardroom, not the chamber. Not the chamber. And all what transpired.
Okay, now tell us. So then the Speaker did not allow balloting, and you said the voices went up, eh?
Yes.
Was there a physical fight of people thereafter? That's what we need to hear.
Yes.
Majority has kept saying anything about that. Can you tell us thereafter what happened?
Honorable Chair, I am one honest guy. The impeachment, Paul Wambua went to put the chair for the majority whip, and he fell down. Honorable majority.
Please help. The minority was sitting and he pulled the chair.
Oh.
And she fell. In what context does is a chair pulled? So you are sitting, you have not agreed on the...
Majority whip was seated to one Honorable Paul Wambua. So when the voice was too high, Wambua raised up and they pulled the seat. These are movable seats. They are not fixed in this one.
While he was sitting?
Eh? No, he stood up. He stood up. He stood up. So he made him fall down. So the majority leader went to pick him up. So as he was doing so, he was hit by one Francis Kabi, the MCA of Kenyatta. Then from there, the deputy speaker also went to separate them. Honorable Dominic Marinda from Mugwane, a man from the other side, came and hit him. Yes, that is exactly what transpired. So that is when the speaker ran to our office. Nobody touched her. Nobody touched her. So the lady was caused for critical. Yes. So she went to our office and locked the door. Okay. With the two members, this one Honorable Kavio and Honorable Wambua, they locked themselves inside there. Members came, they want to see the speaker and maybe they will understand what is happening. Okay. But she locked herself there.
The leader, I think we have had you.
One more point.
One more point.
Yes. The action taken by the speaker has been deprived 144 resident members of Machakos County, they are right to be represented because they casted their vote to represent that chamber. So the action of closing the chamber or suspending the chamber is to deprive the members their right to be represented. Again, Honorable Chair, the action also frustrated, or it has been frustrating, the operations of the county because there are bills which have constitutional timelines which need to be passed by the Assembly. Honorable Chair, it is good to note that the budget was tabled before that House, to the office of the clerk, was brought to the office of the clerk on the 30th April, and up to date, up to date, that budget has never been tabled before the House, and it has not been committed to the executive committee.
Excuse me, Chair. It's an addendum to what he's asking. 1 second, Chair. In the meeting where you were with the Speaker and everybody else,
yes,
did you have any officer of the rank of a clerk or Deputy Speaker? Or
yes, the Deputy Speaker was there.
You witnessed all that? Yes. Did you have any clerk?
We have a video. We won't play the video.
Yes.
There's a video. So let's play the video and see it.
No, the reason why, Chair, is if I ask him and he lies to me, the video may not have.
There was one, Nora. No, Dominic, and Dominic is also present here.
He's here?
Yes, he's here.
Okay.
He was there. The only thing that we did not understand, that day, the Hansard was not there. We don't know whether it was by deliberate, the Hansard was not recording what was being transacted. I don't know whether it was by design or by default.
Okay.
Thank you.
Honorable Chair, point of information, Honorable Chair.
If you allow, 1 point I've left here.
Order. Sit down first.
It's just an omission. If I beg, I beseech.
Honorable Chair.
After closing and suspending the committees, the Speaker forgot that she is a member of the County Assembly. She said no traveling, either within or outside. No meeting. She has been calling CASIF meeting. She has been traveling to attend CAF meeting, forgetting that some of the members who are attending that CAF are members of County Assembly. So she forgot that the ban or the suspension was to affect everyone, not few and let others know.
Sorry, just for clarity, you have provided dates on which she attended meetings of CAF and dates on when they had a sitting of the County Assembly. Just say yes or no. Have you provided that?
Honorable Chair, I've given time. I can be able to submit before we move from this session.
Honorable Chair, I mentioned, and it's good for me to speak on it. I mentioned in that response, and it's good for me to give a position of the case. Kindly, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Chair, I had some information kindly.
Order. I think we cannot all of you talk. So give us time to display the video so the members can see. And thereafter we'll allow 1 or 2 persons, one from this side and one from this side. Yeah. I said order, please. Go to play. Madam Speaker, order. We are playing the video. Where is the video?
Chair, I think we have honorable members who are up there. So, and I can see some empty seats behind here. So if they can be allowed to come.
Why don't they come and sit down here?
Yeah, there are some seats that are empty back here.
Okay, let's sit down.
Okay.
If they're honorable members.
Others, Sergeant Attack.
Even the police officers.
Mr. Chairman,
No, Mr. Chairman, I wish you could just give me some minutes so that I point out something.
I'll give you.
Okay.
Parliamentary language.
I think, Chair, we can stop it there before we make our children hate everything we do.
And Mr. Chair, are we safe, Chair? Are we safe as a committee, Chair?
Chair.
Mr. Chair. They are all here, Chair.
Okay.
Chair, point of information.
Chair, point of information.
Order members, please. I'll give you time.
But Chair, you are allowing the other side to give their view, and every time we are raising hand, you are just ignoring us. What you have played, that is way later. Can you play the video, the one there? That is the cause of the problem. That will shed light.
Yeah.
The one with the deputy speaker there. The third from this side. Just play that one.
Excuse me, Chair.
The next one.
Chair.
Next one.
Excuse me.
That one. Just play that one. That will show the detail.
Yeah, I think the witness, because he's here as a witness, is becoming unruly, Chair.
Thank you.
So if he does not follow the procedures of this,
Chair.
so kindly, and after seeing what we have seen here, now we are still seeing how it started, Chair. So we are seeing how it started.
Yeah.
So can we be with a lot of decorum?
Senators, please open your mic. Please, the members for the MCS of Machakos. Please. This is a sitting of the Senate. And this is actually what we're hearing as judges to mediate you guys. So allow us to see all the evidences. And don't direct us what to do. Okay? Otherwise, if you don't feel that you are not getting the right things, you can walk out if you want. Yes.
Chair, the point I wanted to raise here to my brother behind me is very simple. The other side is making their case. Allow them to finish. Come and make your case with your videos. I don't know why you're getting upset that they're making their case. Come and debunk their case. So why are you making noise behind me?
And actually, Chair, when we invited the County Assembly of Machakos, we invited the Speaker and all the members. And the members do have leadership in that county assembly. So we did not call a member as an individual. So we don't know which side we are discussing, Chair. And it feels bad if we as a Senate were being disrespected and the members we have seen trying to throw chairs over there, they are behind us. So Chair, we might even return them back there. So Chair, we ask for decorum. And members of the County Assembly, I'm a former MCA myself before becoming a senator. So kindly, everybody will be given an opportunity. But the moment you try to show the chair that you can direct what the chair is supposed to do, you are declared a threat to this committee. So kindly hold it. We were cool, but we can equally shout, but we choose not to.
Next time,
Thank you.
I'm going to take out of something. Please, let's respect one another. With all due respect, we'll give you time. Okay.
Chair, I'm Raphael Lakinzao. Chair, I'm the sorry, Chair. I'm Raphael Lakinzao, Majority Whip of the Assembly. And I'm the one quoted by the Speaker that I boxed her. Chair, that video is not a position in the House business, and I am a member of the House business. What happened in the House business is totally from what you are getting. Chair, in the House business, I know you understand it, it's a matter of balloting business. We want this, we ballot and go through. We started the business as normal, but it didn't go through. At that point, the Speaker now dictated, as you are told before. And that you know and you expect in our House business, which is the engine of the Assembly, it won't be easy when you are seeing businesses being said, go in, let them go in. It is me saying. That is where the timbers came up. And at that point, Chair, she has said members banged the tables, which was true because we were trying to get the order of the committee, which was now being run unprofessionally with dictatorship. Chair, at that point, I believe you expect in a committee, you can stand, you can sit, you can talk. At that point, I stood, and my next neighbor was Paul. And Paul drew the chair back. When I was going back to sit, I fell down. At that point, I was waking up. Dominic, one of the committee members, came and punched me. I'm wondering, Chair, because there's some, I know that video you don't have, and you may not get it. And it was deliberate. Even the answer was not on. Even the seating arrangement that day was not procedural. And it was designed. And I want to ask the Speaker, where was I seated? What distance was I seated for me to punch her? And did I punch her? So, Chair, however much there's some information you didn't catch, the closure of the Assembly did not emanate from the House business. There was some history behind. And that was a very important history which the Majority Chair was trying to give you so that you can get the origin of everything to the point of going to close the House. Chair, this committee that day, with the history which was behind there, the Speaker should have made very, very serious measures to make sure the committee will go on smoothly. We are members over 10, whereby we expected, and given the history which was behind there, we expected good preparation, whereby we needed to have maybe more sergeant at times to cool the House when the business gets out, because it was predetermined. Chair, this was not there. We had only one sergeant at arm to control over 10 members, which is not possible. We had the seating arrangement designed for problems and chaos. When you're asking about the order paper, the mood which was there, I don't think any member will come up and tell you this was there, because we were given a situation whereby we don't have soberness. Because
Because when you are told you cannot ballot, and you know House business, you say this matter is coming up, how many are for it, you ballot. Then at this day, the chair then, unprofessionally and in design, went against the order of the committee, and that is why the rupture came up, and this resolution of closing the House came up, and she determined before we get to the committee. Thank you, Chair.
Further information, kindly, as the Deputy Speaker. Yes. Yes.
Deputy Speaker, please only add what has not been said, so that in the interest of time for everyone.
Yes. I said I'm Stephen Mwande, representing the great people of Kalakala and the Deputy Speaker, Machakos County Assembly. And I think I'll be very brief, Chair. And it is important for this honorable committee to understand that on the material date, that is 8th of April, it was like 3 days after impeachment motion for the Speaker had been tabled. So when we met at House Business Committee, which I still I'm a member, there was a lot in the County Assembly, including one, members who were frisked at the gate, honorable members, all of them, maybe in readiness of something. When we got in this committee, number one, the committee clerk was changed. Clerk Dominic doesn't sit in that House Business Committee, so the committee clerk was changed, one. Two, all through that committee did not have answered. So there is no information that you can get from that assembly. And it's so normal that as a committee, we must have an answer. It would not have any. There was no camera whatsoever. So where these issues started, Chair can say that this video was way later. In fact, outside the committee. A lot happened at the House Business Committee. And that a lot is what now Speaker was dictating, that she has veto powers to do whatever she wants. And that's how we did not manage to come up with the resolutions of that committee on that very day. So when we moved out, the Speaker got in her office with two of our members, Honorable Kabi and Honorable Paulo Ambua. She locked herself there. Then now the other members were outside. Those who wanted to know what has happened in the House Business Committee. And now the video that you are seeing here, we were just outside the Speaker's, it was outside the Speaker's office, whereby we were saying, how comes that she has two members inside her office, and we thought we could meet her and maybe agree on the way forward. But what we saw later was that letter suspending the House indefinitely. There was no consultations or anything. Honorable Chair, you will understand that in this country, we had COVID. And with the then speakers, no one suspended the House indefinitely. Honorable Speaker, during the Gen Zs, our gate, our assembly gate was in fact burnt down. She consulted all of us, the leadership, and we agreed that we will adjourn that sitting and reconvene tomorrow. So now, what was the intention of this? The intention was, and to remember that she had already gone to court after getting the first impeachment motion. She went to court, sought orders, only to use the same orders so that she may be able to continue working as a speaker. She only used those orders to come and close the assembly definitely. Nothing else happened in Machakos. After getting those orders, she used the same orders. What members have not yet told you is that after that, instead of trying to get resolution, dialogue, which I've heard mentioned today here, she went to court and sued all of us here. We've got cases. That 5 of members here already have cases in court. That was, they've been sued by the Speaker. So the issue of talking of dialogue seems to be a little bit hard, because if you suit me, maybe unless we finish at the courts, it becomes a little bit challenge. Then now you are left wondering that it is true, after suspending the House, she has been attending to several meetings, including CAF meeting, including CASIB meetings, that suspended. In fact, the evidence is that it is CASIB that lifted the suspension. It is the CASIB when they were in a meeting. It is the CASIB that suspended the House. So, in our case, what we feel, and as members, what we are feeling is there is serious dictatorship in the Assembly, and something needs to be done. In fact, personally, I've got more than 3 cases in court, personally, and several other members, 35 have cases. And now you are left wondering, you got court orders to come and maybe start looking for a way of calming down those issues. Instead, you just go to court. Is that solving any problem? The answer is automatically no. So she's not ready to solve any problem. And now that's where we are now. You get orders and use the orders just to suspend the House. But last week or Thursday, as members, we said that we needed to reconvene using Standing Order number 161, which gives directives on how to convene a committee on Thursday last week. And we said that as members, we'll start sitting in committees so that we may continue executing our constitutional mandate. Then, when we met on Thursday, you've heard from her report saying that she will not pay for committee sittings that were not undertaken. The reason being, and if you read
that's hearsay.
It's not hearsay. It's in our report.
Read it then. Read it.
Unless I get the folder, I don't have it with me. But I heard her saying that it will not be paid. It was in the last paragraphs. The meaning of that is that she will not pay for those committees. And 18 committees sat in the Assembly on Friday last week. If you read what CASIB said on that very day, the resolutions were that committee sittings and plenary be lifted immediately, with immediate effect, to be precise, with immediate effect. B was foreign and domestic travels also be lifted with immediate effect. But down there there was a disclaimer that committee sittings should resume on Monday. Committee sittings should resume on Monday, 26th, which was yesterday. So you are left wondering, you see we are being micromanaged, that even in committees we can't sit. The same person says that these committee sittings and plenary be lifted with immediate effect, and the same letter says committee sittings will sit on Monday. The reason being that chairs and requested for meetings on Friday, and she did not want us to have those meetings. Those are the issues that we have in Machakos, and we are feeling that the Assembly should be allowed to finish with its process. If at all we have numbers to impeach the Speaker, then so be it. If we don't, so be it, and proceed. But now, you see, the Assembly has been blocked from processing that motion. Yeah, and with me here is dates for CASIB boarding meetings. One is 12th May, CASIB board meeting at Speaker's Boardroom. On 14th May 2025, enter meeting at Speaker's Boardroom, and 22nd May, enter meeting at Weston. Last week, Thursday, enter meeting at Weston. So on that side, they have been working. Then again, you ask yourself, now that the suspension has been lifted, what assurance has she gotten that now the Assembly is safe? But on Friday, as members, we were in the Assembly, and there is no problem in the Assembly. So that's my submission, Honorable Chair. Thank you for listening to me.
I have something to confirm here. That letter dated on the 2nd May, lifting of suspension of the House committee sittings. Refer to the above matter and my communication on 8th of April 2025. The County Assembly Service Board held a meeting on 22nd May 2025 and by minute number 193/3rd ASB/2025 and made the following resolutions. A, that the suspension of the plenary and committee sittings of the Assembly be lifted with immediate effect. B, the suspension of members' official travel, both domestic and foreign, be lifted with immediate effect. I hereby communicate the above resolutions to all members and direct that the various committees resume sittings on Monday, 26th May 2025. There's no way it's written that there is no payment for committees that have sat. It's not there.
It is indicated in our responses here currently. It's there.
You have a copy?
I don't have copy, but I had a read from here.
DS, yes. Let the Senate committee determine, because we have that report in terms of the validity or otherwise and the interpretation of what CASP actually did. Okay. Presented your case and that's
yes, but it is in fact it is the last paragraph. I can see it from our records here.
Just it doesn't matter.
Paragraph.
Yes, but it was a response to a specific question on the implication of whether people will be paid for the period that they were suspended.
Maybe the point important to note is that just read that last paragraph and you'll get.
We are through with this.
We have read it. It was actually sent to us. We are the ones who asked the question.
Order now.
Point of concern, Honorable Chair. Just one thing. Is it in order for CASI to sit down and suspend, lift a suspension which it did not sit down to impose? The suspension was imposed by one officer. Okay. Now the CASI is sitting. Is it in order?
I've had.
Chair, you are not unanswered.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I want to ask, tell me your name.
Yes, I will.
And what position you hold.
Yes, I will. Mr. Chairman, my name is Honorable Francis Munga, MCA, Mua Ward, and I want to indicate that, Mr. Chairman, the Machakos County Assembly, and I hope the members will give me time so that I prosecute, saying that the Machakos County Assembly is actually divided into two now. Those who are the proponents of the removal of the Speaker, and those ones who are opposed to the removal of the Speaker. So if the Committee on Devolution can actually be seized of that opportunity to look at it from that point of view, I think we'll be assisting this House to know what took place that day. For example, I would say the day that we are talking about that morning, the leadership of Machakos County Assembly, all of them, including everyone, sit in the House Business Committee. And so that is where the chaos emanated from. Our members were in the Assembly, grounds, forensics, doing our business as usual. We did not know what was taking place in the House Business Committee until we saw some members flying out of the House with bandages, running to report. It is then that we realized that there was something that was taking place. Mr. Chairman, I want to say, when we got to understand that there was chaos around there, of course, because the motion had been tabled in the Assembly, 33 members had signed for the removal of the Speaker. 22 members had not signed for the removal of the Speaker. And that's why we are saying that the 33 members who are proposing the Speaker should go were the ones that were creating chaos, and the other members that you have heard that were opposed to the removal of the Speaker were now defending the Speaker. I want you to look at that divide. The clip that you have just played there, Mr. Speaker, because a senator here is very embarrassed by that clip. The members that were opposed to the removal of the Speaker went to assist the Speaker move out of that. That was a clip that was a 5 in the evening. And we were seated in the cafeteria all through for that time until it was now said that these members who now intended to remove the Speaker were now becoming physical and were breaking into the Speaker's office. That is when members decided, let us go and rescue the Speaker. The Speaker is now being attacked. And that is where we went. If you look at that clip properly, Mr. Chairman, you realize that that office had been totally barricaded by chairs and them standing. That gentleman that is in the tie, that is me. And I tried to push so that we could get access to where the Speaker was, so that we have the Speaker in safety. That is actually what was taking place. But Mr. Chairman, understand, one of the things that prompted this thing is that there was suspected intention to remove the minority leader here. And so the suspicion in the Assembly that day, so that this comes around, was that I come from an Chapter party. We had already a communication that the Speaker was going to make removing the minority leader. And so his colleagues, because of, as you can see, that he's doing business with the majority side, his colleagues went protecting him, even in the House Business Committee, so that the Speaker would not find a way to the House to communicate that. That is the genesis of this problem, Mr. Chairman. One of it is to obstruct the Speaker so that she could not be able to get away to the chamber to communicate already an intended removal of a member. They were protecting one of their own. That is one. Two, Mr. Speaker, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, when this motion was tabled, it was tabled by 33 members. The threshold of the same cannot be 33. And so because they could not be able to prosecute this motion in the House and outside the House, what they intended to do is to frustrate the operations of the Speaker. And this is what happened. Now, the 22 members that we are seeing here, Mr. Chairman, we are actually opposed to the removal of the Speaker because we're saying the procedure that was not procedural, blah, 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 many things. And that was, the Assembly now got this divided. Mr. Chairman, it is about impunity. It is about lack of law. It is about hooliganism. It is about almost what you are seeing here. If the Senate is to achieve this Assembly work, first of all, is that we must first of all become people that are respecters of law. I like what the Deputy Speaker said. If they do not have the numbers, so be it. Let them speak. If they have the numbers, us who are opposed to the removal of the Speaker have no problem. If they ever attain the numbers, let them do it and bring it to the Senate for their approval. We have no problem with that. But as it is now, Mr. Chairman, the numbers have failed them. They cannot be able to get the 45 threshold that is required because we are there. One of it that has turned out here, Mr. Chairman is saying, Mr. Speaker is saying that Mr. Minority Leader said that this was not in the plenary. While we are sitting here, this is already out of the committee of the Senate. We are in the Senate. Even that business that they were transacting there was in the Assembly. A committee sitting is actually a part of the Assembly. So now, for them to say that the Speaker did not have powers at that time when she was actually under siege, I want to say the Speaker acted within our powers. And let me tell you, it was a relief that day for the staff, for us, to have the House closed at that moment. Because, Mr. Chairman, the whole House was barricaded by goons. They were shouting. There were war drums that were playing around the Assembly. And in fact, when the Speaker closed that House, the Majority Leader came to me and told me we have to work out a way that we must now end this thing here. And we sat down with him. And I called this Mheshimiwa Dominic. And we said, now, we must be gentle enough. What are we going to do so that we have this stalemate stop? Mr. Chairman, I talked to him. I told him, pick your people, take them to this side of the cafeteria. I will ask my people to get to this side of the cafeteria so that we can have the Speaker out of this place here. And that is what happened, Mr. Chairman. I agreed with him. Tuweke hawa hapa, na wale wengine tuweke pale, tuende tuchukue Speaker. That is how the Speaker found our way out of that Assembly. Mr. Chairman, the mood in that House has been cannibal. It has been blood. There is no way that we could coexist unless we get an arbitrator. Now, when it comes to the people that are supposed to be arbitrate, they have interest. You talk about the county government. They have interest in the removal of the Speaker. This I want to say. Because this emanated from the summoning of the CC Finance. When the CC Finance was summoned in the Assembly, it became a thorn. Because there are things that did not want to be exposed. And this is what the Assembly, of course, doing our mandate. It became a problem. Directives have been coming from the other side. When you talk about the other side, of course, we are talking about the number one of the executive. And that is the person that has been championing the removal of the Speaker. So then, if we need to assist the government of Machakos to operate, we need to face facts. One of the facts is that we ask them to get the numbers. When they get the numbers, we'll have no problem. They'll have the Speaker away of the... But it is...
Point of order, Mr. Chair. Who is number one?
I'll respond to that. Of course, the chief executive of the County of Machakos is the governor. And so I'll say the governor has a lot of interest in the removal of the Speaker.
Point of order, Chair.
You can't discuss somebody who's not here to defend themselves.
All right, I can withdraw that. But
against the standing order.
I think I can withdraw that, but I thought it was going to assist the committee.
Chair, I have a small request.
Order, Mr.
Chair, somebody sent me a message saying there's a gentleman called Mr. Kaviu. I don't know who he is. The guy told me to move away from him.
Order.
Somebody else. Just wait, so come where? They are the instructors. Have you put up a bunch of things? No.
Stop writing those messages.
And then, Chair, I'm just wondering, as a point of procedure, I was saying, as a point of procedure,
Point of order, Chair.
I was just saying, as a point of procedure, Chair, we are getting too much narrative as contributions. It is better if people can refer to facts, because we'll never conclude with a story of this happened and that happened. We'll never finish. Can we get either reference to documents that were submitted, because we asked for documents to talk to, and ours will be to ask for clarifications from the same documents. So I don't think we should really allow too much narratives, because we are repeating the same things in different words, in different languages, and it's not fair.
It's now
we have a very short time to finish.
11:39. So
I have just one small thing to say,
yes,
and then you continue and you roll out. I want to speak to the County Assembly of Machakos. I decided to do a statement so that I can provide a platform for you to come and discuss and see, talk the way forward for Machakos people. So kindly, let's just do what we are supposed to do here, so that you can go back to Machakos and give service to the people of Machakos. Kindly.
Mr. Chairman.
Just before you talk,
I want to go on record. Good morning, everyone. Senator Ezena Lemalitian from Samburu County, and I'm hoping I am safe.
You're safe. You're safe. Order. No, it's okay. Take it easy, my friend.
Mr. Chair.
Chair, this is unfair.
Mr. Chair, I think this is not right. Point of order, Mr. Chair.
Point of order.
Point of order, Mr. Chair. No, Mr. Chair.
Is Honorable Kaviu?
I'm Honorable Kaviu. Mr. Chair, I don't understand.
We are sorry for that.
No, it is very wrong. Because I've been sitting calmly there.
It's okay.
So it is wrong for the senator.
Sit there. Don't worry. You are safe, and it's safe now.
No, it is very wrong.
Take it easy.
Am I safe myself? Because who are those who are sending messages?
I don't know who is here. So
no, but it's wrong.
We'll ask later. Who is it? And we'll take action.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. But of course,
order.
Point of order. Yes.
Order. I'm not giving
Mr. Chair, I think the chair is setting a very bad precedent. Because what happens if all these other honorable members get SMSs that the people sitting behind them, and it is one team, are a threat to their security?
We have solved the problem. My friend, sit down and order. Order, Mr. Order. I'm giving you 5 minutes.
No, that's good enough. So, Mr. Chairman, please, other than what I think the senator said, that we are giving a lot of narrative, we are legislators and we are here to defend our position. And that is what I want us to be heard, because you gave us time to come here, and Mr. Chairman, we traveled and we left. So then, Mr. Chairman, please hear us. And so we are saying, Mr. Chairman, you need to appreciate that that house is, and actually the idea and all this, what we are talking about is about the impeachment of the Speaker, nothing else. If that is solved, and if that's dealt with, then the County Assembly of Machakos will sit pretty. Mr. Chairman, I want to donate the other 4 minutes to Honorable Dominic to be able to assist me in prosecuting what I intended to. Mr. Chairman, please, with your permission.
Thank the Honorable Speaker, Chair, and the members present. First and foremost, I want to take this opportunity to thank the Honorable Chair and our Honorable Senator for finding it needful to invoke the provision of our Constitution under Article 96 of the Constitution, which mandates the Senate to undertake serious and a lot of interest in terms of safeguarding the interest for the county government. So I want to appreciate and applaud you for that. It's unfortunate that today Machakos County Assembly is again at the upper house, being a member in the first assembly after the promulgation of the Constitution. We came here again to follow the proceedings of the impeachment of the deputy governor, the first deputy governor of Machakos. It is quite unfortunate and called for. Instead, would have been called to come and discuss pertinent matters that can advance devolution, pertinent matters that can make counties work better and county governments. But instead, we're coming here to discuss matters that would have been solved internally with a lot of sobriety. And I want to start by requesting my fellow honorable members. Can we sober up? Can we reason as honorable members? Can we reason as members of County Assembly under the county government of Machakos, elected, given positions by parties to further and enhance devolution? Simple. The events of 8th are still very much fresh. I'm a member of the House Business Committee, and I thank the leadership through the majority leader for giving me the opportunity to serve in the House Business Committee for 2 years running, where I have a lot of interest, where I also served in the first assembly. And I have a lot of vast understanding of the procedures that happen in the House Business Committee. And as honorable senators should recall through the chair, we learn through presidencies. Once you set up precedents in running the affairs of the Senate and the affairs of the National Assembly, that precedence always reoccurs. Even in judicial proceedings, we always learn from precedents. And a precedent had already set in Machakos County Assembly. When we go for House Business Committee, I want to explain just within a minute about the procedure is well known. The procedure for committees in the Senate and the procedure for committees in the National Assembly is total replica. It starts with prayers, motions and whatnot, statements and everything, communication from there. It's the same procedure. So it happens in Machakos County Assembly, and it happened before. And actually, I'm surprised. The same leadership seated here have already set up precedents that we always follow. So once it is read out, we unanimously agree and pass it on. That is exactly what transpired on the 8th. What has been happening. But on the 8th, it was the inverse. You see, issues that are coming up, we need to get the history of the proceedings that resorted to be where we are today. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of myself, I want you to convey my sincere appreciation to the Speaker of the Senate and the Speaker of the National Assembly for one good reason. Because they have not allowed to be held hostage. They make communications, they run the assemblies as per the standing orders and the powers conferred to them by the Constitution. It is on the inverse in the Machakos County Assembly scenario. The honorable members seated here who are the assembly leaders have held the Speaker ransom for the last 2 years. And that I can confirm. And I would wish you even have a private session with her and get to experience what she has been going through. And at that point in time, when she realized that she is losing
point
trust
of order.
of the assembly.
Point of order, Chair.
Protect me, Honorable Chair.
Point of
Protect
order,
me,
Chair.
Honorable Chair. Protect me, Honorable Chair.
Because
please let him make his case, sir. You made yours.
Yeah. He actually spoke without interruption.
You have only 2 minutes to
Honorable Chair, how I wish this leadership would just accept the reality of the prevailing issues so that the stalemate at heart can be resolved once and for all. The Speaker has been held hostage for 2 years. When she realized that we are no longer going anywhere as an assembly and took her position as the Speaker, that's why you can see where we are today. Honorable Chair, right now as we speak, the leadership of the Assembly of Machakos still believe that the Speaker is not the head of the institution of the Machakos County Assembly. They want to usurp our powers and run the assembly as if they are superior to her. And that's what is happening around, Honorable Speaker. On 8th, they had come prepared to make sure the Speaker does not access the assembly. And they made good their threats. I don't want to give the events of that because there were no cameras to capture. Those of us who are in the House Business Committee know what transpired. But immediately we managed to rescue the situation. They held the Speaker hostage until at that time when that video came out. When the Speaker said now enough is enough at around 4, that we went to rescue the Speaker. So what am I trying to say, Honorable Chair? They have given their version. The Speaker has given her version. But the fact of the matter is, whatever is happening right now in Machakos County Assembly is that the leadership of Machakos County Assembly want to usurp the powers of the Speaker to the extent that if she makes a communication, they have to go into the standing orders, interrogate, go into the County Government Act, interrogate, and come and give us just one version that suits them. And you see, according to the law of maxims of equity, Honorable Chair, as I finalize, the maxims of law of equity says, if you come for equity, you must come with equity. So what am I telling them? If the honorable leadership of the Machakos County Assembly want the Machakos County Assembly to go back to its state and run smoothly, then one, they must respect the Speaker. They must ensure that the smooth running operations of the County Assembly are guided by the Constitution and the County Government Act. Invoking saying that the service board is not in place, properly constituted, devolution laws are very clear. There is no vacuum in leadership of the board. There is what we call perpetual succession. So if they follow that and follow the law, Honorable Chair, we would have even saved this sitting as early as when we came here. So appreciate your concern, but let the leadership of the Assembly of Machakos understand that the Speaker is the head of the Assembly of the institution, not to manipulate anyone, but just to follow the law and ensure that the Assembly runs smoothly. Thank you.
We have had you. Okay. Please, I'll only give one more person. That man who was what's her name, Mashma? Please proceed.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Francis Ombo, the Deputy Minority Leader, Machakos County Assembly. And Mr. Chair, we have worked with you previously on so many items. And I'm not the person that the propaganda that is being peddled is trying to depict me as. So just to go straight to the point, we might try to give a lot of versions on what triggered the closure of the assembly, but the primary cause of the closure was insecurity. I happened to sit in that House Business Committee, and that morning we had on the order paper for the day, we had 9 items that were supposed to be balloted for the day, and as usual, the clerk normally
Senators, can we listen in silence, please?
That morning, when the order paper was provided for balloting, normally what happens, we'll read through the agenda, we'll get a seconder, but on 8th, it was rather a different one. There was a lot of tension. So when the clerk read the first item that was supposed to be balloted, the majority of the side, first they had indicated that that particular day we must vote by either by acclamation or even through any other available means. That is true what they said. But now the challenge came. Out of all the 9 items, every item that was being read, they shot it down. So we went to the last agenda. Then what they are trying to say that the Speaker tried to force. After the 9th item, that is when the Speaker asked us, then if you are refusing to ballot everything, what do you want? Because we must have an item for the day so that plenary can proceed. So everything, the team led by the majority leader, they kept saying that can come for another day. And it's only that my phone has gone off But if you look at the items that were being balloted for the day, all the 9 items, they were things of county importance and that were touching on the people of Machakos. So when the speaker asked then, what do you want us to ballot? If you are refusing, we must have an agenda for the day. That is when chaos broke up and people started banging tables saying that the speaker doesn't have the veto powers to tell the House Business Committee on what to do. So at that point, I was seated to the Honorable Majority Whip. The speaker was seated there, I was next, he was next. So at that point, that is when he stood up. I don't know what his intention were, but he charged toward the speaker. Either he wanted to snatch the order paper, or maybe, as others are saying, maybe the intention was to harm the speaker. So when he stood up, that is when chaos broke. The people who were sitting on the other side, the majority stood up. We also stood up, and chairs were flying all over, and everybody had to defend themselves. So when that fighting started, there was fighting. Let nobody lie to you. We exchanged blows, and everybody was trying to protect themselves. But the minority whip was injured by the seat, because when he tried to resume after rising, that is when he missed his seat and he was knocked by the table, edge of the table. Then,
wind up, please.
Then, so basically what triggered the closure of the assembly is that insecurity. And when we called the police, when the police came, they were under strict instruction, and the OCS informed, of course you have heard them saying that when the fight broke, everybody was trying to escape. So I didn't make in time to run out of the boardroom where we were sitting, and people were fighting there. So if people had attacked you, you couldn't risk going through them because the people on our sides were not there. So I went to the speaker's office, and when the OCS came, the speaker asked for one thing: can you protect me so that I can execute my mandate? And the OCS replied that I've only been instructed to make sure that people don't break into your office, so we don't have instruction to take you there. Then lastly, maybe just for a second, then the other issue why we could not consult as leadership, the entire leadership, that time the fight was between the speaker and part of the leadership. So it is like the case that happened on 25th of June. There was no time to consult whether the people who are in the parliament should vacate, because the situation at hand only called for people to run for their safety. And it was evidence that that particular day, nobody was safe. So we had to vacate the assembly so that we can figure out. And nobody is against us resuming. We all want to fulfill that mandate. But we must agree to disagree on what needs to be done. And finally, Senator Onyonga, I hold you with very high regard, and I'm disappointed that you could just accuse me for nothing. That was wrong and low. Thank you.
Chair, can I get a right of reply?
Chair, can I clarify something? Chair, can I clarify something? No, I'm not talking about this. I'm only clarifying about Onyonga and Kavyu. Whoever sent that message knows that Kavyu is called Kavyu. So I think it was a joke. It is a joke. I know who sent it. I know who sent it. I know it's a joke. So,
no.
Yeah.
It is wrong.
It's Methu. It's one of our senators.
Mr.
And he has joked with him.
Senator,
but he
that
did not
was
take
not
the
a joke.
So that is it. Anyway.
I think since
was wrong.
Chair, since my name has been
that
mentioned,
is character
I have a right to
assassination.
reply.
Yeah.
Chair, my name has been mentioned.
profiling.
Can I get a right of reply?
On record, Chair. Chair, allow me to go on record. All right, thank you very much. My name is Paris Tobiko from Kajiado County.
a member of this committee. And let me also say, if that was a joke, it was a stale joke. Thank you.
Chair, I think I should be allowed to basically say, Mr. Kaviu, I have nothing personal against him. I'm sitting in front of him. He's sitting behind me. I didn't even know him. I received a message in my phone from a colleague. He says what he said. I didn't even mention. So I was as shocked. And now I've actually been told that that report that was sent to me is from a fake account of one of our senator friends. That is, you see, so...
Senator, I think we have apologized.
Thank you.
To the honorable member, and all of this, Senator Onyonka acted in good faith. Can we let that matter lie, please?
Chair, can I get a right of reply? I've been mentioned by that team twice.
Thank you.
No, we are not prosecuting for individual exoneration, please.
Thank you very much, Chair. My name is Boniface Maike, member of County Assembly, representing the good people of Kalama. I'll go to point number 3 on response, just to add on what has been spoken about what probably the executive was supposed to do in order to ensure that there is a good and proper way of amicably solving our problems. And I would say that...
point of order, Chair. What is he responding to? We are not investigating on what the executive is supposed to do. Just make your contribution to the matter at hand, not your speculation on who should have done. Okay? Just give it, add to a contribution on, the matter at hand, please.
Thank you. The matter at hand is this, because the DS spoke about that they've been taken to court by the Speaker. And it is good to know that the honorable members who have been taken to court, they were not taken, but the Speaker went to court to seek clarity on constitutional procedures of impeachment of a Speaker. And out of that, out of the fight that ensued, it resorted to contempt of court. So it is good, so that it goes on record, that the Speaker did not deliberately go. And as I finish, I want to throw a gist in the whole matter. If the members believe that they need 40 members to impeach the Speaker, I believe we are all of us here. Why can't the Deputy Speaker sit there and we prosecute the matter here? I said it's a gist.
Chair, we are not discussing impeachment of the Speaker. Please, as it...
It's out of order now. I will close, my friend. That thing, of course. Now.
Mr. Chair.
Just like Senator Kavindu, because I'm coming from a neighboring county, neighboring Machakos, I have a lot of interests in Machakos. And so I would want to be very careful in this matter. Because across both divides, I can see my friends, a lot of friends. I can see some on the other side and some on this other side. So, Chair, I just had a question to the Speaker. Madam Speaker, if that session had become disorderly and completely unmanageable, did you consider maybe postponing that for that one day and resuming when things have cooled down, and not necessarily having the House go on an indefinite recess, or whatever you may call it?
Just note, I think, and then a number of...
Speaker, now that you have recalled the House to receive, and I can see you have developed a program up to June 25th. Did you sort out the problems, or you have agreed with the members, leadership, or the problem still stands? Next.
Sorry, Chair. Honorable, no, we are just note down, and then you will ask.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it. Yes.
That you have lifted the ban, I mean the recess. And you now have developed a program, a tentative work plan for the House to resume, especially for the budget instruments. So did you discuss with your members? Have you sorted out the problems? And how do you reach why do you believe that this time you are now safe, or that House is safe, that there is no insecurity again? Did you be able to manage the security issues and be able to talk to your members, the House leadership, to sort out the problems?
Thank you. Honorable Speaker and members, the County Assembly exists to represent people, and the county government executive exists for purposes of service delivery. The two institutions have interdependent responsibilities to carry out in order to ensure that service delivery is achieved in their county. Basically to say that you are in the positions you are in, not for anything else, but for purposes of providing services to the people of Machakos. Now, the entire country is in that period when budgets are being discussed. Service delivery is carried out via budgets. The procedure for passing those budgets is prescribed in law. It is statutory, both for your own county assembly budget and the county executive budget. Now, I want to ask the Speaker whether you have done a calculation around the statutory requirements in terms of the procedure relating to the budget, and when you invoked Standing Order 1 to suspend the county indefinitely, whether you factored the need for the processes around budget to happen within the times they're supposed to happen without any cosmetic arrangement around issues like public participation. And to tell us, now that you have recalled the House, 30th June, which is the far end of the budget process, is in how many days? Do we have adequate time for the budget process of Machakos County to be carried out in a satisfactory manner? That is number one. Number two, the Senate wrote to you on 21st, and you lifted suspension on 22nd. Can you verify whether you are lifting the suspension pursuant to the call by the Senate, or whether it was because of the meeting you had had with the county, the CASP? Because and verify whether the meeting with the CASP was on the 18th or was on 22nd or 23rd, the day that you communicated this to the members. And even as you do so, to indicate whether the County Assembly Board has any mandate in determining the calendar of the County Assembly. Those ones for the time being.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, I would like to just make a small statement that I come here with a lot of respect for everybody who has come here. I take positions which may be controversial. To be very honest with everybody here, the matter that was forwarded to me, I did not get the joke, but I was as scared as anybody would get scared. If somebody writes and says there's somebody behind you, be careful. So my reaction could have been, but I hope that Mr. Kaviu will continue being my friend, because I have nothing personal against you, sincerely. Thank you very much, and I have respect for all of you. Chair, I have two questions. One, Madam Speaker, I've tried to put myself in your mindset, and I understand this because very unfortunately I happen to come from Kisii County, which is a neighbor to Nyamira, which has got now 2 assemblies. They have got 2 speakers. They have got 2 messes. One group meets in a bar, another one meets in the bus park. What I'm asking all of you here, and indeed, Madam Speaker, do you think your problem is administrative or is it political? So I would want you to give me that clarity, because I've tried to look at the issues and I seem to feel like we are dealing with politics. So I am asking for you, what is your thinking? And in this case, I would like you to explain to me so that I'm able to understand where you are, because there'll be a follow-up meeting after you have answered later. Number 2, Chair, this second question is really about the Speaker, but it has with the people who work in the Speaker's office. So I wanted to ask the officer who is the clerk, and I'm happy he's here. When you were meeting with the team in the House Business Committee, number 1, was it a normal, practical, daily operationalization of your activities? And I know that the clerk is the part of the legal team that advises the Speaker. What did they advise you in terms of the decisions you were making? And the last point that I wanted to discuss is that I failed, and the Chair, I failed, maybe she could answer that. The impeachment submissions highlighting the preparation for her impeachment is on the 20th. Are we together? Majority is on the 20th, isn't it? When were you having the House Business Committee meeting? Which date was that? It was the 8th on, all right. So I wanted the Madam Speaker to answer me from this perspective. Do you think that when this team was coming to discuss with you the events that took place on that day, were they preparing to still continue to impeach you, or do you think you actually mismanaged what they requested you to do? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, for the opportunity to participate in this discussion. First, I want to thank Honorable Maita. Is it Maita? Yes, for making one very good statement that if we were sober, that people need to sober up and to finish. And I kept asking myself, Madam Speaker, you had an opportunity where you did reconciliation. The governor actually intervened. Now I'm hearing governor that, governor this, but I'm seeing in the documents that there was a time when there was intervention. What exactly, what happened to that intervention? Why didn't we proceed to build a relationship at that point? Because you didn't have to be here. I say this, Mr. Speaker, because I've been to this assembly. I've had lunch with this team when we went for the speech of our my colleague, the senator. Actually, I went for education, and then we went for her speech to the assembly. And I tell myself, these great people of Machakos, why would they be dividing themselves this much? Because everybody has a different role. But let me ask a few questions. One, the lifting of, first let me ask about the resolution that was used to suspend. When you suspended what was the implication on the calendar of the House? What's the impact? And how are you going to address it? How are we going to recover time that has been lost? Because you lifted it in the middle of recess. But in lifting it in the middle of recess, having lost time, did it occur to you that you could have actually lifted and brought the program early so that you recover time? Because, you know, time lost is time lost. So can we know whether you have a plan and a program for the House to proceed? And then after lifting, we are informed, and I wanted you to just clarify that in one statement because it's not clear, that when committees sat, they are not supposed to be paid. And yet it has been lifted. Is it some misunderstanding by the leadership? Maybe they didn't understand what the lifting was meant to be. The other one was to the House leadership. It's neither here nor there whether you want to remove a minority or a majority. You have your own rules of how to do it. I don't even understand why removing a minority and a majority is a big deal, because you are the ones who make the decision. Also, even removing a speaker is not supposed to be done with the kind of fights that we saw there. You have seen us remove governors in a very decent manner, and we've been doing handshakes with the same governor before he comes in. He goes out when he's no longer a governor, but you can't go better, because some of the things that you are doing are just going to destroy the image. Not to mention the fact that Nyamira, this Senate could actually suspend Nyamira, the whole Nyamira Assembly, because we have the powers to do that. So why are we insisting on issues of remove so-and-so and remove so-and-so in a very bitter way when the rules of procedure are there? You have your standing orders, and you can do it without hitting at anybody. Yeah, let me leave it at that for now.
Thank you, Chair. Mine will be more of just question of observation, but it's also quick to note that the reason why I was requesting decorum is just to show that if some stale joke come in, no one will be judged from how they had behaved earlier. So it's good to note that, Chair. My issue, the problem in the County Assembly of Machakos is more of political or moral issue than legal, Chair. That's what I've come to understand. And I think as we retreat to have, to give our recommendation or our resolution, we should have that at the back of our mind, Chair. The Speaker truly is under siege. And you can tell that, Chair, from issues that have emanated from the presentation from different members. And I can say this without a doubt, because when you see the CEC of a county assembly, of finance in a county government, refusing to remit money to the county assembly, that CEC is trying to control the assembly, Chair. Because the CEC has nothing to do with the CASB, that is the County Assembly Service Board, CASB, all right? The release of county requisition has nothing to do with that board. There is the clerk, who is the accounting officer, who asked for that amount from the the ministry or the treasury, county treasury. So when you see a CEC trying to use an excuse that the CASB is not properly constituted, that is somebody who is trying to micromanage a county assembly. Number two, when it comes to the letter that was written by the leader of majority to the CEC, of course the leader of majority has no power to stop anyone from executing their mandate. It can only be an express of, an expression or notification or just telling them that you should know this. But the CEC is not mandated to act on such a letter. But if the county assembly had passed a motion to stop the CEC from remitting money, now that can work. Chair, the speaker who said she is under siege, you have asked about the measures taken to deal with the conflict at the county assembly. I found it a little bit funny when she said that she has extended the height of the perimeter wall, yet the problem was within, because Chair, the problem was in the committee, and then you are extending the wall. But so mine is to say that there has been what do you call it? Like a conflict of, a meeting to deal with the issues. And I think I read it from the leader majority who said that the governor had organized a meeting, I think it was there, and where they tried to resolve some issues. So when there's a motion to impeach somebody with the grounds that have already been given, Chair, I don't think there is anywhere within the law that you can resolve that outside. All right? So if you can resolve that with meetings and all that, then it tells you it is more political than the issues. So I just want us to understand all these things so that we can help the county of Machakos when it comes to because I don't believe if you are impeaching somebody because of corruption, there's no way you can agree on that issue if the corruption case is there. And finally, Chair, my question now is this. Why don't we have Hansard for that meeting, for that day? Yet we can have the videos outside, what was happening, who was fighting who, but in the meeting where we have Hansard, I think that is something that we need to ask and demand as a committee, that we should have Hansard for that day from the speaker or from the clerk, so that now as we make our decision, Chair, we can make the decision both legally and also politically, because at least we can see it's happening. And finally, I want to assure the members of the County Assembly, the Senate, I believe, will not take sides. We are going to make a decision pursuant to the submissions. And also we have an understanding why the way things are from the submission. So, and whatever happened in here has been recorded. We have Hansard. Thank you.
I forgot one. Yeah, one of my concerns which I wanted the speaker to speak to is the issues of letters from the assembly going through the clerk on impeachment, which we are not going to discuss impeachment. I'm just talking about the procedure itself. If she actually came across these letters and if she responded, or it is true there was no response, and I'm saying this in relation to the reconciliation attempts that were done, are there issues including this appointment of whatever, members of CASP that has been attempted to? Because at the end of the day, we are back in the assembly and we don't want to hear the same chairs are flying in the room. We want to see how we can bring the two factions, as somebody has said, we are just a divided house, and if you solve the divided house, then you have solved our problem. Is there any strategy to address these issues? Before we call it political or non-political, the issues that have been raised, have you made an attempt and this leadership has rejected, or where are we on this one?
Chair, a point of clarification, Chair. Chair, can I? Yes. Oh, all right. Thank you, Chair. Chair, I wanted this one to be clear, and I believe maybe we are on the same page as members of the committee, that in this situation, we are not going to discuss the merits or demerits of the impeachment motion. For us, that's not the issue. The issue for us is what transpired that day, whether the Speaker has had justification to postpone the sittings of the House indefinitely, and the behavior of members that day, whether they then, warranted the kind of action the Speaker took. I just wanted members from both sides to know. We are not going to really into the issues of whether the Speaker, whether there were grounds to impeach the Speaker or not, or whether you will impeach the Speaker in future, or whether you had made attempts. For us, it's what happened that day. What happened that day, and whether the decision made by the Speaker was sound. Is to protect devolution and ensure that a case of bulls fighting, and it is the grass of Machakos that will suffer. And you ought to have acted in a manner of utmost respect to the electorates that gave you the power to lead them. In my view, this is more of a political case. It's a political issue whereby the CEC for Finance is refusing to give you your dues. And in return, the County Assembly is saying that we will not conduct any business if we don't have this money. And so your county is somehow crippled. But when you look at this matter keenly, the biggest undoing is you, the MCS. Because somewhat, I don't know why it is a case across the whole country. The MCS do not seem to realize the kind of power they have. And one of the oldest forms of managing people, is dividing and rule. You have been successfully divided by whatever forces. You have two sides now of the County Assembly, a very powerful body that is supposed to protect devolution, a powerful body that has the power to put the governor on toes, to deliver whatever you want for the people of Machakos. It used to be a case of, I've heard stories in the previous region, from Samburu, or Onyonga or Tangwa from Kisii and Kiambu. No, it is you yourselves. The fact that you are next to Nairobi County, the city, does not mean you're so developed. Your people are still struggling and languishing with poverty. I see so much that your senator is doing without any development kitty. Yet, each of you is from these villages. If you can sober up, like your colleague has said, put down your personal differences, whatever the motive behind your split,
you have the capacity to seize so much power and get everything you want, whatever it is that you are lobbying for. If the county assemblies can come and be united for the common good of the people, because these positions are temporary, in 5 years, you will not be there. In 2 years, sorry, you are not sure that you will be back. But what is the legacy that you're going to leave for my fellow youth across this country and the people you serve? That this is what we made happen. How embarrassing would it be that you sit back in your villages in 2 years and remember that you are purposefully responsible for dissolving the county government of Machakos? You all must make sure that devolution works. I am very emotional with this issue because I come from a marginalized county. And anytime I hear that some people want to destroy their county, it really hurts. You all remember how it used to be when we didn't have devolution. Some of our counties would rarely see anything. And I don't think you are a green county. You are the embodiment of other Kamba counties because you are just next to the municipality. You're supposed to be a role model. And I'm sorry to lecture you, but those are my submissions. I beg you to come together. After this meeting, go somewhere and sit together. Because the Senate, mpendane by force, the Senate is here to protect you. Because you are the Senate of Mashinani. You are the ones who know what is happening within the county assemblies. You are the ones who will be bringing us issues to put your governor on toes. You know, senators and governors are tusikizani. We want to make sure that every coin and public resource goes directly to the citizens of Kenya. And nobody has more mandate, a direct impact with their wards than the MCAs. A ward is more like a village. You don't want to go back to the village after 2 years. You want to come back to the Senate. You want to come back and chest thump in the Senate or any other senior position and say, I changed my ward. I made a decision for the people that I serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Zena, for your wise. I think she has already concluded for you. She has made our work easy, actually. So thank you so much.
Yes, Chair. Thank you, Chair. We are still in the Senate, and we said no chairing, but I think she has done you a lot of... Now, mine are just few. As I said, I made this statement so that I can bring you together through this devolution committee so that you can talk and air out your differences and see if you can come together and work for the people of Machakos. But Clark has said that is acting. And I want to know how long he has been acting and why he has not been confirmed if he was to be confirmed. 2, I want to know if the county assembly workers, those employees there, have been paid. And if not, I want to know why they have not been paid, because they are not part and parcel of what is happening in the assembly. 3, you've altered the calendar sittings of county assembly for 20 sittings. As Senator Professor Kamar has said, how are you going to recover the 20 sittings? Because that is service to the people of Machakos, which has been altered for all that long, and I believe you have legislative business to do. You also have supplementary budgets, estimates for county assembly, 2024, 2025. And you also have budget estimates for the county assembly of Machakos year 2020, 2026 to pass. and Machakos County valuation roll. All that has been pending from the day the County Assembly was suspended. How are you intending or planning, all of you, to recover the time lost? And I would say my biggest interest in all this is for the Assembly to be opened so that the people of Machakos continue with the service. And if it is Speaker's security, Chair and Speaker, you are allowed, and the Constitution of this country protects every citizen, every Kenyan, even if it means you be given security inside the Assembly, then let it be, so that the County Assembly can continue and work can continue. And if it is impeachments, whatever you are talking about, it can continue smoothly. I mean, we've seen many people impeach speakers, impeach governors, and they don't close the Assembly. No. So, kindly, I also beg the committee chair and the committee of devolution, kindly help the County of Machakos. That is why I cried and I called unto you to assist me, because I didn't see any way they could come together. You've seen the fights there. You've seen you've had the exchange of words. So I thought the only place they can be safe and come and exchange is here. Thank you.
Just a final one to the Speaker. In your response on dispute resolution, you indicate it's an exercise in futility. I would want to know what are the implications of that. Are you saying you have irretrievably broken down that we possibly should consider dissolving the County Assembly of Machakos? When you say it is not reconcilable, what do you mean?
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to ask one last question. And Chair, the question is about both the Speaker and the Assembly leadership acknowledge that the County Executive has no statutory role in convening or restoring Senate sittings, Assembly sittings. Nonetheless, it was reported that there were delays in the transfer of funds from the County Executive which had affected the normal operationalization, including payments, all these things you've talked about. What worries me about all this is in your mandate as you're trying to manage all these issues, and I want to raise this amongst my colleagues who are here, members of the County Assembly. I do believe, Chair, that they have explained to us what the issues are, but you are not going deep enough to really break it down for us and understand. We don't want to go there because I think everybody around here is a bit tired. Maybe the question I wanted to ask you, Madam Speaker, do you see any possibility? Because our responsibility here is, first of all, to engage, try and discuss with you so that you can negotiate and find an amicable way on how you're going to make sure the county government runs. Because for us, any county that is in trouble, you know that for sure that Kitui, where we were last week, has the same issues. The Speaker is doing his things, the Governor is doing her things, MCAs are screaming at each other and everywhere. So basically, your two counties of Eastern Kenya are in trouble. And as I always say, if you find two very intelligent, reasonable groups of individuals fighting as if they're villagers, they're either fighting about money or something. What is it you people are fighting about?
Speaker, you may answer those questions briefly or conclude.
allow me, Chair, to answer this while standing, because I've taken a lot of time and seated. Before I start answering the questions, I'd like to just clarify this one matter, that the closure of the Assembly was not as a result of the impeachment motions. It was purely issue of security. So let's not link the two. Impeachment is going on elsewhere, but this particular day we were resuming duties from a recess, a short recess. And before we resume duties in the chambers, we have to go through House Business Committee. That is the procedure as you know it. So it is during the House Business Committee that is chaired by myself that hell broke loose. And we found ourselves in this situation of exchanging fists and finding a place to secure yourself. And I found myself in my office because this was happening in the Speaker's boardroom. So it has nothing to do with the impeachment. Impeachment is going on. I've gone to court to get some interpretation of the anomalies in the impeachment motions, and those are the issues that the court is trying to interpret. That is the clarification I want to make. My first question was, after lifting the suspension, have we sorted the issues? And that was a question from the chair. After lifting the suspension, the programs of the Assembly are running. And I would just pray that my members here, members of the County Assembly of Machakos, that will allow that we have a smooth running of the Assembly going forward without hitches, so that we can manage to complete the programs that are before us. So that is my hope. Otherwise, if we can again have insecurity, there will be a problem. But I just pray my MCAs, kindly we have been given this mandate by the Constitution to serve people of Kenya through legislation and oversight and representation. It is just only important that we put aside our differences and do the work of Kenyans. That is how I can say about that issue. The issue of budget process as prescribed in the law, it has timelines. Before we went on recess, we made a resolution that while on recess, if any matter of importance comes to the table of the Speaker is at liberty to commit that matter to the necessary committee. So when we were served with the budget issue, I actually went ahead and committed the budget to the Budget and Appropriation Committee, and we have timelines. We have even work plan for it. And now that we have opened the Assembly, we are going to proceed with the process of budget, and we are going to achieve it. I had attached in my proceedings the status.
Chair, maybe just sorry to interfere. What is the procedure according to your standing orders of how to commit a budget statement to the committee? Is it directly by assigning or by a motion in the House?
We had already made a resolution in the House that whatever comes to my hands during the recess, it should be committed to the relevant committee. So that was a resolution, and that resolution is arrived as a result of a motion that has been gone through, the one for adjournment. Yes. So that has happened, and as we are talking right now, we already have the budget estimates committed to the appropriation and to the Budget and Appropriation Committee. because we received the documents from the CC Finance on 30th April 2025. So the budget estimates have been committed to all sectoral committees and the Budget and Appropriation Committee and for consideration. Public participation.
Sorry, when did you commit? Do you remember when you committed? On that same 30th April?
It was committed on 23rd of May.
On?
23rd of May.
So when did the CC bring to you? On 30th?
On 30th of April.
Okay.
Yeah. Then public participation, which is an exercise which the Budget and Appropriation Committee is planning to undertake before tabling the estimates in the Assembly. The passage of the Appropriation Bill 2025 is still within stipulated time. To my speech, I have also attached the tentative work plan for the budget estimates for the financial year 2025-2026. And I believe the plan of our budget are there, and we shall be within time because the last item is on 25th of June 2025, which is tabling the budget report in the House for approval. Perhaps I could just go through it. So, Senate, yeah, so we are within time and we are going to make sure that this happens in time. The other question was on
when the meeting of the board was that determined that you lift the suspension?
The meeting of the board was on 22nd of May 2025, and the question was whether the board has a role in determining the calendar of the Assembly. Yeah. Chair, the circumstances under which I only consulted the clerk when I was suspending the Assembly have already been laid out. That there was no way I could seek any leadership consultation to make that decision. I think I've laid that down properly. When it came now to opening, it had nothing to do with the letter that was written by the Senate to us, but it was a day we had our board meeting, and it was an agenda in it on 22nd of May 2025. We had a board meeting, and we passed this resolution. It was a board resolution. So the role of the board is that it is the apex of the institution. Having not had any close relationship with the leadership, because you have had it, the only other leadership that I saw was able to do this was the business, the board, because that leadership has no issues, but the leadership of the House, which I could consult for any other issue, is the leadership of the House is the one that I have with me here, and we have not been reading from the same script. But I hope as we leave this place, we'll be reading from the same script. So, Chair, that is the reason as to why I consulted the board and not the leadership. And so the lifting was not pursuant to the letter, but it was pursuant to the board resolution. Thank you. The other question was about the House Business Committee. As I indicated, before we do any business in the House, we have to ballot the business in the House Business Committee that I chair. And while doing my business committee, there was no consensus the leadership of the House and the members of the House business kept saying, you have no veto powers, you can't do this, you can't do the other. And I think it has clearly been explained. So there was nothing I could do. They did not advise me otherwise. They just were shouting and banging on the table. That culminated to the fight that ensued. So to be honest, there is nothing I could have done. That is the much I could have done. Payment of the committee. I had made it clear that the committees have, during the suspension, are not going to be paid because they have not worked. And that is what I meant when I said that if work has not been undertaken by a committee, they will not be paid. That is what I meant. But any committee that...
The committee said they have met and when they assess. So are they being paid or not being paid? Because the work has already been done. Or you are disputing that work has not been done. Huh? No. It's a minute.
If work has not been done, it will not be paid.
Okay.
That
Fine.
is
You will
what
confirm
I'm
that.
saying. Thank you. The question about the clerk and not being confirmed. Chair, the clerk is on acting capacity right now. But the reason why he has not been confirmed is that we have a court case that is affecting his confirmation. Because we have a court case that has been taken, we have been taken to court, the board has been taken to court by the former clerk. And until those issues are resolved, we cannot confirm the clerk because we don't know how the case will go. So that is the reason, Chair. Have the staff been paid, and if not, why? The staff have not been paid, and I've said clearly that we have not received money from the CCM Finance. He has refused to release our money, despite the fact that the Exchequer has released our funds. And they are giving excuses of 4th and 5th member being in the office. And you know very well that the County Assembly Service Board has nothing to do with payment of and transfer of funds to the Assembly. So this matter is still pending, and the staff, including the members of the County Assembly, they have not been, no one has been paid for the last 3 months. Honorable Senate, you look into it. How to recover the time lost? Share their programs to recover the time lost, and we are going to engage in such programs. And committees have already started working. We are ongoing. Plenary starts on 10th of June. And we surely will recover the time lost. The most important items that the activities of the Assembly that are statutory, we are going to meet them because one of them is budget, and I've actually exhibited the programs in place right now, and we know we are going to meet the deadline. Sorry. We know we are going to meet the deadline and we'll have the budget in place in time. Security provisions. Honorable Chair, yes, we don't mind more security. If it can be provided, we'll be very happy so that things work well inside and outside the Assembly. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Speaker.
Point of order, Chair.
Yeah.
Madam Speaker has said that they will recover, but how do they pass budget if the Assembly is not in place? I mean, budgets has to be passed. And Madam Speaker and the County Assembly of Machakos, we fight so much for the money that comes to the counties, fighting with the National Assembly. And once we pass money and it comes to the counties, we want to see that money being used. But otherwise you tally, and that money will come back to Treasury. And after fighting for it for this much, and that is when I'll be very, very mad. Kindly do something that no monies will come back to the Treasury.
Chair, I'm a bit surprised by the strategy. I'm not hearing a strategy like, can we open on Tuesday? Because what exactly do we mean by you are going to recover? Is the assembly on? Yes. So we have our session running, not committee, I'm talking of the session.
Recess. Assembly is on recess.
Yes, I'm asking because you lost 20 sessions.
20 sessions.
And Madam Speaker, take this seriously. Because some of us have been in this panel of speakers. And we know that if you are serious assembly, you should be having a program that goes for the whole year. If you are telling me 20 sessions can just collapse to nowhere, 20 sessions of actually the plenary, yes, then I'm not very sure that you are a very serious house. 20. I would have expected you to say you will recover some before the recess is over. But so I want to be convinced where you are going to get 20 sessions.
Honorable Speaker, there are some that you
Chair, I think my question has not been answered. The issue of why the Hansard was not available on that day.
Thank you, Chair. The issue of Hansard, I am not sure that the Hansard in that office works, because I've never used them even a single day. Perhaps the clerk can clarify that point.
Sorry? Okay. I'm informed by the Director Procedure who was there that the officers who from the Hansard department who have their gadgets were not allowed in that day.
Where?
They were, yes, they were, according to him, they were restricted from entering into that committee meeting.
By who?
By the honorable members. That's what he's saying. Okay. Yes.
Don't talk for him, let him talk.
Thank you, honorable members, Senate and County Assembly of Machakos. That day during the House Business Committee meeting, when members had convened and the officers, some of them had also convened, there are a number of officers who had been barred by members from entering the boardroom of the Speaker where the House Business Committee was sitting. The situation was that when the members of the House Business Committee were seated, the other members had already come to the floor at the door of the Speaker, and any other officer was not able to come in, including more sergeant at arms who were not able to get in to the boardroom of the Speaker where the House Business Committee was meeting. And that is the situation.
Share clarity. Share clarity. Share clarity. When you came in here, you found the hazards working. You don't wait until members are in to go and put the hazards, and oh, that's how you do it in Machakos.
Chair, I think maybe to add on to that, because we have had the response. It will guide us on our resolution. But it is very sad to hear that the honourable members have not been paid for the last 3 months. It is very, very sad.
And the workers and the cleaners.
Yes, and Chair, I think in our deliberation we should summon the CEC Finance to appear before the Senate. This is just a recommendation. Yes, we need to understand whether it is both the CEC and the governor to appear before the Senate. And lastly, Chair, just to get a correct stand on the issue of the budget estimate. What I understand, Chair, is that the Speaker suspended the Assembly on 8th of April. Then the budget estimates came on 30th of April. That is during the suspension. So my question is, because I understand, I don't know whether the standing order is the same here, but I understand when the budget estimates get to the County Assembly, the Leader of Majority tables them. Then they goes to the Finance Committee and other sectoral committees. But the Speaker has said the County Assembly passed a motion to say whenever they are on recess, she can do that. But this was not recess. It was suspension. Was that year recess time or suspension? I mean, that is also need to be clarity. And finally, Chair, yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say, Chair. So was it on recess, that year, the day on recess, or just a minute, or it was a suspension time?
Chair, as she answers that, it's just a suggestion. Why can't you call off the recess and get into business? Why can't you call off the recess and recall back members to work and do the business of the House?
Okay, members, I think we're not on time. You want time now? So let's conclude this.
Chair, I did not get a response to my question. I had asked why she found it necessary to suspend the House indefinitely instead of suspending only that disorderly sitting.
Yes. Maybe I can start with the one for Mheshimiwa Tobiko. I found it necessary to suspend the House indefinitely because of insecurity, security issue. I did not know when and how we are going to get our security back. The situation was very bad, Honorable Senator. It was bad. I was to be killed personally. I have said that, and there are witnesses here.
Order.
Honorable Senator, I could not determine whether to open the following day because there is this, the justification was insecurity. And so it had to be dealt with before I can think of making a decision to open.
Okay,
thank
that is the case.
So, excuse me, Chair. Just a follow-up. I'm asking about the standing order.
Oh, sorry. A follow-up to that. How many sergeant at arms do you have at any one time? You know, when you have the business going on?
We normally have one at a go. Within the boardroom, for a committee.
Honorable Chair, I'm requesting that the follow-up questions, members, we will retreat into a session where we'll be able to discuss part of the detail. Speaker, you just made an allegation which, if we were to put you to test right and to put evidence, I don't know whether you can give evidence of killing. So I suggest that you be measured in there.
I withdraw that one.
Thank you.
Yeah. I just wanted to show how serious it was. Okay. I'm sorry.
Speaker, I think
there was a question about when the budget estimates were served on us. The budget estimates reached us on 30th, which was within the suspension. And the recess started the recess we are in right now started on 14th of May. The day I committed the budget estimates to the committee was on 23rd May, when we had already lifted the suspension, and we are now on recess. Thank you.
Had you had a sitting? You said, you actually earlier said
yes,
that the powers to commit to the committee were given by a motion when you are going to recess.
Yes. We were on
suspension.
Before we went on.
When did the recess begin?
We were on
suspension.
When did the recess begin?
Taking you backwards to where it started. Before we went on recess previously, we had made that resolution.
So you're talking about a previous recess?
Yes.
You were in session, you suspended that session on 30th April.
On 8th.
On 8th
of April.
On 8th April.
We were to resume on 8th, the day of the scuffle. We never resumed.
Yes. So the day of the scuffle was a day you were resuming from recess.
Recess, yes.
And okay. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Chair, I have just one clarity from the Speaker. Just one clarity, please. We have to put things right. Madam Speaker, you suspended the sessions due to security. Have you written a letter to IG talking about your insecurity and wanting reinforcement for your security, your own personal security?
It was not my personal security, but that of myself, the County Assembly, and the staff. So it was not my personal.
Have you raised this to the security apparatus?
I raised it with the CS of Interior and Interior.
There is a letter to that effect?
No, I talked to him.
Personally?
Yes.
Honorable Kavindu, just for us to remind him, just to remind her that in her submission, she said the security is now okay. We have a wall, we have a razor, and an electric, and CCTV, and you said...
Senator, I said we have enhanced order. And what I said, what we have done to enhance, because I have been asked that question.
No, okay.
Sasa assembly funguliwe, iko security.
No, just please. We will make a decision.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Chair. I just want to bring into perspective the delays in disbursement to the County Assembly. It is this House that, because of Kara, we needed to adjust our budgets, even the County Assembly of Machakos. Now, I know Kara was passed last year, I think, November. It has taken the board of County Assembly of Machakos 5 months to adjust their budget. Actually, once they were reminded by the CCM Finance that he cannot continue disbursing money to the County Assembly because they have not adjusted their budget. Once they did adjust their budget, I don't want to give some figures. Before they adjusted their budget, they had requested for 91 million. After the CCM Finance insisted that I cannot continue working with the unadjusted budget because I could end up disbursing more than the judge's budget could allow, to kindly do so. So the board met and they wrote the first request on 23rd
Chair, order. Order. You know, we are interrogating an issue that you're responding for a CC Finance. I suggest, since we may consider that matter will be discussed.
I just wanted to say it as the head of business. I mean,
yes, we are hearing you, but you had a colleague say that we may need to call the executive. So I'm suggesting, because we can't now start interrogating the detail of that letter now, that we will actually seek a moment when we can look into that particular issue.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to clarify because someone, the Speaker has talked about it. The other thing, Chair, the issue of, passing on whatever documents that come from the executive, we did not pass any motion. It was actually communication from the Chair. It is not a motion. It is communication from the Chair. And she may want to say whether that is legal or not. The other thing, the last one, the Speaker keeps referring to the County Assembly leadership.
I want to put it to this House, to this committee, that she has elected to work with another leadership that she has chosen herself. So she doesn't recognize the office of the Deputy Speaker, she doesn't recognize the office of Majority Leader, and all these leaders, but she has elected to appoint and work with her own House leadership that is, I will say, okay, I've been...
Order, please, let him, he has the floor. None of you has the floor.
You know why I say this is because since she decided to unilaterally close the County Assembly, my line is open. I even can get communication from her through my official email. She has never consulted me or these leaders on anything since she decided to unilaterally close the House. So I think she communicates to other people and not us. If you don't communicate with us, how else are we supposed to communicate with you? And you purport to be the head of the institution. Thank you, Chair.
Now, the final from you. What is the leadership's proposal for the way forward? And I want you to take into account what Senator Hezena has said and what your own senator has said. Because the only reason we are sitting here is not to be entertained. It's because we want service delivery to resume in Machakos County. So for you, what are the 2-3 things that you see we must do in order for the House to resume on Tuesday? Is it or even tomorrow?
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Maybe you'd give him 2 minutes to consult. Yeah, maybe you give him 2 minutes.
Do you want 2 minutes?
I know we have consulted.
Okay.
And I am confident of what I'm saying. You know, the matter before you has its own internal mechanism in the County Assembly of Machakos to be discussed and resolved. But the office that should initiate that, I have just said, doesn't recognize leadership. So it is for that office to initiate.
No, I don't want you to fault find. You've already made that point. I want your solution.
My solution is that the committee...
What is the solution? Not what that one will not do. Okay?
Part of the solution would be for the relevant offices to convene and speak to each other and not at each other.
Or if we say the Speaker should convene a meeting tomorrow with the leadership, you are assuring us that it will be a conversation, it will not be exchanging chairs.
Thank you, Chair. I have just said we would be speaking to each other, not at each other. That suffices to say that if she creates a good environment for the dialogue...
No. Environment is all of you. Creation of an environment is all of you. Just confirm that
Madam Chair.
As leadership, you are willing to sit down and move forward for the sake of Machakos County.
Madam Chair.
Yes, I want to confirm that we are willing to sit down unconditionally.
Madam Chair, thank you. Majority, I'm really impressed. But I thought all of you are in the same party.
Order, Senator.
What happened to you people? Are you not in Wiper?
Order, Senator Onyonka.
I don't want to confirm.
Senator Onyonka, can I request that you don't answer that? Whether you are in the same party or not. Senator Onyonka.
Thank you, Madam Chair. At least you've gotten my point. Thank you.
I wanted to get an opportunity to answer.
Please.
Madam Chair, Wiper Party is not here. There is County Assembly of Machakos here, not Wiper Party.
Senator, allow the chair, yes. Senator Onyonka already conceded, and what we are doing, we are resolving an issue of Machakos County, isn't it? Now, there is a point of order. What is your point of order? Not an explanation of anything, a point of order.
Madam Speaker, Chair, I just want to send a word of wisdom to my colleagues. We are fighting for nothing. Nothing. The majority leader, and I have a lot of respect for this majority leader, is a very somber person, very sober. And I just want to request my honorable members, what we are fighting for is not here, neither there. Let's drop all affiliations, sit down, move the County Assembly of Machakos. What are we fighting for? Nothing.
Okay, it wasn't a point of order. It was reinforcing the point of majority that you are willing to sit.
But Chair...
Now, Senator Tobiko, you had something to say. You had something to say.
in agreement.
Okay.
Chair, my suggestion was going to be that we give them, even if it's 5 or so minutes, both sides, to give us solid way forward in terms of a solution to the impasse. As we also take the 5 minutes to take a short break, as we also consult on what is our resolution.
Now, we have had Senator Tobiko, do you know how to read minds? Now, you have half read the minds of the chair. We, as a committee, are going to retreat for 20 minutes. And we have had both sides. And we will come to then determine what we have had and make some recommendations as a committee to the County Assembly. As we do so, take the liberty to consult, and my view is we will not open for you to make speeches here. Whatever resolution you make, please put it in writing to our clerk so that they bring it to us where we are sitting. We are not going to give you mics to speak here. And then what we will come here, we will read and hopefully have a way forward for Machakos County. So we will, what is the time?
It's about 10 minutes after 1.
10 minutes after 1,
we'll come
can we come back at 1:30 in order to finalize the session? Senator Kavindu.
And we have no chairs here to be thrown. We have no chairs to be thrown.
They are peaceful. They are
going
peaceful.
to behave like.
No, they are promised. And
Senator Tobiko, they are peaceful. They are not going to throw any chairs to anyone, even when they go back to Machakos. What I wanted to say, Honorable Chair, is that
Order, Senator Kabindu. This is order, Senator Kabindu. That is unparliamentary language. Can you speak in?
Chair, Senator Kavindu is grossly out of order, because in this assembly, I see people from my community who do not understand that language.
Senator Kabindu, can you withdraw? Can you now communicate in the correct language?
Okay, Chair.
Okay, Chair. I'm sorry, but I've gone out of my way a little bit. But I was telling them when we finish, they should not go in a hurry. We should have a meal together, because the senators, this committee has prepared.
Order, Senator Kabindu. You are not a member of this committee. You are only a friend. So we will communicate. So we are agreeing. We are adjourning for 20 minutes, and we will be back here. Please be here in 1:30.
Lazima.